Welcome to the celebration graduation for the Two Harbors High School class of 2020. We certainly were not thinking that we'd be doing a virtual graduation at the start of your senior year. You're graduating during a pandemic. You are part of history. The last time a high school graduation class graduated during a pandemic was in 1918 during the Spanish flu. These graduates have overcome obstacles that many have never seen before. The class of 2020 have met all the requirements of Lake Superior School District and of the state of Minnesota. But they are graduating with so much more than any other graduating class. This group of graduates has a story to tell because of what the past few months have brought down upon them. This group of graduating seniors are coming out stronger than ever. They have developed patience, waiting to see what the next phase of their education would be like, what graduation would look like, what their summer would look like, and what their future will be looking like. This group has endured from being side by side with their peers, friends, and teachers to going into isolation. The graduates have become flexible in dealing with whatever came their way. They have dealt with an entirely new model of distance learning while being at home alone. During isolation, they did what it took to stay connected with their friends and extended family. They developed empathy and compassion for those who have struggled through these tough times. Our graduates are ready to deal with the unknown. For the past 3 months, the unknown is exactly what they've been dealing with, and they have come out stronger. Our graduates will be the people in our near future that will approach issues from the perspective knowing that there are many ways to solve any situation that comes their way. The class of 2020 has learned to adapt to any change thrown at them. Now, on a personal note, I'm extremely proud of all of our graduates. I would tell anyone that asks about the graduating class of 2020, be it a school, a university, an employer, that any graduate of the class of 2020 has what it takes to make a difference. So finally, let's join together celebrating the Two Harbors High School graduating class of 2020. Thank you.
I'd like to first start by welcoming Dr. William Crandall, Superintendent of the Lake Superior School District, school board members Ringer, Taboni, Ryder, Labaugh, Burns, Corey, and Van House, Assistant Principal Julie Benson, and the supportive staff members of Two Harbors High School, the Minnehaha, and North Shore Community Schools. Next, I'd like to welcome our parents and guardians of the class of 2020, along with family members who have guided and supported the graduates along the way. And finally, welcome graduates. It seems so long ago that you were in the hallways, cafeteria, and locker bay here at Two Harbors High School. We've really missed seeing you. 82 days ago, we learned that the state of Minnesota was moving towards distance learning. And on Sunday, March 15th, a district team met to plan how we were going to resume school in this new platform. You arrived at Two Harbors High School the day after, and then after that, you left. And who knew that would be your last day at Two Harbors High School? The next 4 weeks provided us with hope that we'd see you again here at Two Harbors. When it was announced that the state would continue with distance learning for the duration of the school year, we were saddened for all of your loss. I've always enjoyed the second semester with the seniors. It provided me an opportunity to teach again, to have meetings with you to discuss the last few days in your senior year, talking about using good common sense, plans after high school, and what I could do to help. And unfortunately, we lost those times. This experience has taught me a lot. It has taught me how long 82 days can feel, how critical support is, the challenge of remote learning brings, how much there is to learn digitally, but most importantly, how important you are to our school. I've learned not to take a day for granted because you don't know when that'll be your last. I've learned that the best days have been when we've been able to see you, when you picked up your caps and gowns, during our virtual senior class meetings to discuss graduation, and on honors night. The best times have been because of you. I know this is not what you wanted for the second semester, But I want to challenge you to reflect on what you've learned. Maybe, for you, how solitude can bring both sadness and a sense of connection to self. The importance of a human connection, and how far you can be pushed when faced with something new. And maybe, like me, a new appreciation for each other. Be proud that you are here tonight. You came into life when the country was processing through 9/11, and now you are leaving high school during a pandemic which has changed everything. The country is resilient, and you are too. Some of the most important lessons have been taught second semester. I want to thank the amazing staff that I'm so fortunate to work with each and every day for your professionalism, positive attitude, and empathy. I also want to thank the parents and guardians that I've had so many conversations with in the last few weeks. I certainly know this has been a challenge for you as well. The challenge of supporting both your careers and the needs of your family. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. So graduates, welcome to your unique graduation. Put all this knowledge that you've learned in strength to good use as you leave Two Harbors High School. Please remember to be kind and make the world a positive place. Thank you.
This is a song that I have written for the class of 2020. Dear 2020, it's our time to shine. It's been a long year, but we're finally here. We're finally here. Never thought we'd make it. Despite this, we made it. We made it. We are more than our circumstance. We are more than this time. Once we see the blue skies ahead, then we're sure to fly. Then we're sure to fly. One step at a time, we walk out the door and into our futures with brighter things on the shore. Dear friends, we've had so much time to grow. Nothing but open roads now make this world our own. Never thought we'd make it. Despite this, we made it. We made it. One step at a time, we walk out the door and into our futures with brighter things on the shore. We grew up on this shore. Time to move on, make more memories. But we'll always have home.
It is my pleasure to welcome Riley Larson and Carson Holm, who will provide a welcome from our senior class. Audrey Hansen and Emily Carlson will provide memories from the class of 2020. Annabelle Whelan will introduce Miss Penny Juniman, who will provide our commencement address. Emily Carlson and Sean McCarthy, who will provide our senior commencement address.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our class of 2020 graduation. We made it. I am Carson Holm, and this is Riley Larson.
The class of 2020, a class with vision, a class with big goals and aspirations, a class that has not only overcome the unimaginable, but excelled through it. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. Today we get to start a new chapter of our lives. Although this isn't how we pictured our graduation ceremony, I am honored to stand before you and welcome you to the most unusual yet unique graduation ceremony. With that being said, let's all be positive and enjoy this together. We are of the minority that are able to say we graduated during a world pandemic. As a class, we conquered this obstacle and are able to successfully close this chapter of our lives. We have learned how to adapt to the challenges we've been faced with and exceed far past any obstacles in our way, which shows that we are ready for the next chapter of our lives. As much as I wish we were able to celebrate together, I am so proud of each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see what life has in store for you all. Fellow classmates, the next chapter of our lives is waiting. Our hopes and dreams are about to become our reality. We must continue to look on the bright side of things and think positively. There's nothing we can do to change the past. It's what we do in the present that will impact our future. Wherever life may take us, I feel confident that the Two Harbors High School class of 2020 will do amazing things.
This quarantine has taught us all a little something more about ourselves, whether that be trying to figure out how to operate your computer better or finding out how much we actually do miss going to school. Now, don't get me wrong, this is weird, talking into a microphone, a speech that should have been delivered to a gymnasium full of people. But I'm glad this has all happened. This whole experience has taught me so much. That there is nothing we can do to change the past, and there are some things that no one alone can control. But we can all learn from these things, these life lessons, if you will. I can tell you, I sure have learned a lot over the past 2.5 months. I felt similar to my friend Luke Skywalker when he went to Dagobah to become a Jedi. He was in isolation to help hone his skills, and I would like to think that we have all done the same to some extent. I learned to cherish the time with the important people in my life, whether that be cherishing a little too much extra time with my parents during this quarantine, or looking back and reminiscing about all the good times I had with my best friends in high school. Hopefully this mindset will carry over to the new normal that we face in the aftermath of this pandemic. I've also learned how to adapt to difficult situations. Miano is saying, when life gives you lemons. This simply implies that every person should make the best of any situation at hand and not wish it was different. Most importantly, I saw how everyone can come together for a greater cause. This comes in groups as small as people getting together to help with homework online, or as big as the people and countries of the world getting together to help limit the spread of this pandemic. My point is, everyone can learn something from a situation. No matter how dark and dismal it may seem at the time, this is not only the way of the Jedi, but it applies in our lives as well. While we all know this isn't the preferred method of graduation, let's focus on the positives and the lessons that we can learn from this. That being said, I would argue that this ceremony is just as special, if not, dare I say, maybe even a little more special than past ceremonies. A lot of hard work from a lot of people has gone into not only this online portion, but all the in-person events as well. So let's focus on the great parts of it. Not the parts that were changed due to circumstances beyond our control. My fellow classmates, we are now a part of history. No matter what path life takes us down, we will forever be able to say, yeah, we're the class of 2020. You know, the class that graduated during a world pandemic. Class of 2020, we made it. Join me and celebrate and congratulate ourselves.
We wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. Coming from two future pilots, class of 2020, the sky's the limit. Please join us in watching this special ceremony.
Dr. Seuss once said, "Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory." For us, high school turned into a memory sooner than expected, but that's okay, because along the way, we were able to make some incredible memories. Over the years, especially junior year, you may have heard us complain about how awful school was and that we couldn't wait to be done. However, if this experience taught us anything, it's that time flies. At the end of the day, we only have our memories. Every second of every day gives us something to look back and reflect on. If we don't see the value in time and make it a point to enjoy our life and live for today, there will come a moment when we will regret what we didn't do or what we should have done. Tonight, we would like to share some of our favorite memories over the last 14 years, starting with preschool at the Minnehaha. Our school experience started with a bang for some of us, well, maybe just for Lou when she ran head first into the door and ended up getting stitches. I'm pretty sure the whole school heard her head ricochet off that door.
In preschool at North Shore, Sydney Cox would scream every time Rio Johnson would walk into the room.
In kindergarten at the Minnehaha, while some of us were still wetting our pants, others were getting promise rings. That's right, promise rings. Brody Wolin gave Madison Reiners a promise ring he got from Kohl's, and they ended up dating until 6th grade.
In kindergarten at North Shore, when our gingerbread went missing, we all had to go look for him. In 2nd grade at North Shore, Captain, oh Captain, down salute.
In 2nd grade, during lunch at the Minnehaha, Corey stood up to take his sweatshirt off, and along with it came his shirt. The whole cafeteria started laughing, and Corey was sent to the office for messing around.
In 2nd grade at North Shore, a bunch of us would try catching flies and pencil sharpeners and keep them as pets.
In 3rd grade at the Minnehaha, all the girls would chase Spencer Jackson on the playground. We called it Spencer Chase. It got so out of hand that we all had to go to the principal's office, and that was the end of Spencer Jackson being the ladies' man.
In 3rd grade at North Shore, we had a kickball tournament, and Ava Bruckelmeyer got hit in the face with the ball.
In 3rd grade at the Minnehaha, Elsa, Jada, Riley, Kate, Sydney, Lou, and I were obsessed with glitter balls. Each of them had a name, and we would make houses for them during recess. By the next year, we were on to bigger and better things when we decided that collecting pencil eraser shavings was really cool. In 3rd grade at the Minnehaha, Cole Comrack broke up with his girlfriend at the time to focus on school and sports. It's been 9 years, and Cole's dedication to sports and school must have scared all the girls away.
In 4th grade at North Shore, Miss Compton would throw markers at kids when they were not paying attention.
In 4th grade, Kaylee Overby chipped her tooth, and later on did it again in 8th grade as if doing it once wasn't good enough.
In 4th grade at North Shore, when everyone found out they had to use the outhouse at the old schoolhouse.
In 4th grade at the Minnehaha, we were banned from the game Magic during recess. Apparently too many people were getting hurt. Not only was Spencer Chase taken away from us, but so was Magic.
In 4th grade at North Shore, Miss Mackey setting off a dog whistle all day to confuse us all.
School patrol in 5th grade was the time of our life for some of us at the Minnehaha. At the end of the year, we went on a party bus and danced to Gangnam Style. We thought we were so cool. Earlier that year, we were having an amazing snowball fight before our afternoon school patrol when Sam Johnson ran into the bike rack chipping his tooth. I was later brought in to talk to Miss P about my expectations as school patrol captain.
In 5th grade at North Shore, Brock Heveler broke his arm 3 times and was in a cast all year. In 5th grade at North Shore, going down the slide as fast as we could to try and hit people with our feet, then Sean got mad and punched Isaiah Johnson.
In 6th grade, Mr. Gettin's class, Chloe Heidela and Laura Erickson would stab people with toothpicks for swearing.
In 6th grade at North Shore, when we were at Wolf Ridge, a group from our class got blown across the Wolf Lake in a canoe and had to bushwhack through the woods in the growing darkness.
In 6th grade, during silent reading in Mr. Loden's class, Tricia Osbach and Ripton was told to leave the room.
In 7th grade during facts, Eric Levinan was sharpening shears when he threw his arm back and sheared Cannon Nault in the head, resulting in him getting staples.
In 8th grade, Mrs. Cohen's daughter came to visit. All of the boys were in love with her, especially Carson Holm.
In 8th grade, Brody was reading a story about his birth to the class. After Brody said the words, "I flew out like a gazelle," we knew we would never forget this moment.
In 9th grade, we were learning about concave and convex mirrors in science class. Mr. Schlungen brought us outside to show us that you can start a fire with a concave mirror. Once the demonstration was over and we had been inside for a while, Mr. Schlungen sent Spencer Jackson outside to make sure the fire was no longer going. He came back in and sat back down, and about 10 minutes later, Mr. Schlungen asked him if the fire was out, and he replied with no. He then asked him if he put out the fire, and Spencer said no, I didn't want to ruin my shoes. Mr. Schlungen ran outside with a bucket of water and found a big black patch where the grass once was. Way to speak up, Spence.
Sophomore year, Brody dressed up in a watermelon body armor for his English presentation.
Junior year, Mr. Ravala's 7th period chemistry class broke the record for the most EPs ever given out. This was a proud moment for the class of 2020.
In 12th grade, Emily Carlson was accused of skipping government multiple times for yearbook. But all was well when she showed up with leftover pizza for Mr. Stockdale at the end of the day.
In 12th grade, during our last Pet Fest, Carson Holm and Brody Bolin were really competitive during musical chairs and broke one of the chairs during the last round. We can all hope Garrett Jordal, Carter Hoffman, and Cole Comrack end this summer better than last.
We may not have had the senior year we always dreamt of, but that's okay. It seems like the end of the world for some of us right now. But this is just another memory. It's not senior prom or a class trip, but it will be something we remember for the rest of our lives, just like Brody's detailed story about how he was born. Some things you can't forget, and living through a pandemic is one of them. Not all memories are great, but it is what you do during the difficult times that will shape you as a person. Thank you.
Ms. Juneman graduated from UND in 1994 with degrees in biology, chemistry, physical science teaching, and life science teaching. She then graduated from Montana State University Bozeman in 2004 with a master's degree in science education. She started her teaching career at the Fond du Lac Ojibwe School, then soon came to Two Harbors High School in 1997. Although these are incredibly amazing accomplishments, that's not how we see her. We see Ms. J as the most caring, understanding, and hardworking teacher who has helped shape all of us into the students we are today. She always checks in to make sure we're doing okay, not just in school, but in our home lives too. She's unbelievably kind and always looking out for us. Even if it might be a little bit out of her way, she still takes care of us. Most of us were lucky enough to have her in 10th grade for biology, and some of us were even luckier to have her in advanced chemistry and physics. Any bad day you had immediately went away as soon as you walked into her classroom. She is so warm, kind, and welcoming. She never gets upset or frustrated and always has a very friendly smile that instantly makes you feel better. There are no bad days when you have Miss J as a teacher. A lot of us also had the opportunity to have her as an advisor in clubs we are a part of. She's been leading Enviro Club and National Honor Society for over 10 years. She's very generous and gives a lot of her time to the clubs she leads as well as the classes she teaches. Can't is not a word in her vocabulary. She's always doing all that she can and even a little bit extra. Ms. J always makes sure everyone has exactly what they need to succeed and do their best. She always asks what she could do to better improve her teaching, which is already spectacular, and she always is looking for input on ways she could make learning more enjoyable for us. This shows how compassionate she is about teaching and how she strives to better herself no matter what. We as a senior class would like to thank you, Ms. Juneman, for all you have done for us since you first had us in 10th grade. From making us a priority at school to making sure we know that you're still here for us even when we're no longer in school. Your kindness and dedication helped us to be the best students we could be. There was never a time you said no or didn't help us when we asked, and sometimes you even asked when we were too scared to ask for it. From going out and collecting data on types of trees to finding the way to planets, we want to thank you and make sure you get the recognition you deserve. Ms. J, thank you for making our last year of high school so memorable and helping us to make the best out of our current situation.
Good evening, fellow teachers, administrator, parents, family, and friends. And good evening and congratulations to the class of 2020. I am so humbled by your request to deliver your commencement address, and I am so proud to be your teacher. Most of you I met your sophomore year in biology class, and we had a great year identifying trees and lichens, dissecting frogs, and looking at cells under the microscope. A moment that I will never forget was when I was reading to you outside on our beautiful campus from a book that my 10th grade biology teacher gave me. After I got done reading you a passage, you all clapped. In over 20 years, that has never happened before. I was so touched by your kindness, and I still am to this day. Some of you I had the good fortune of having in class again for physics and advanced chemistry. I asked just yesterday what some of your favorite memories from the year were, and some of the responses I received were vibing with the boys, having mole day breakfast at Judy's, racing cardboard boats, and blowing up Pringles cans. Yes, those were some of my favorite memories as well. A memory that frequently was mentioned was teaching the 6th graders, which is a testament to your character. Class of 2020, you are impressive. No one could have predicted you would spend 1/4 of your senior year learning from home. Your teachers are so impressed by your maturity that you've shown during this difficult situation. You've lost so much, but you have handled it with a level of maturity and grace that we don't often see in people your age. We've been impressed by your work ethic, your compassion during this time, You have reached out and helped others. You have focused on your studies. And you have shown great patience with your teachers as we navigate this world of distance learning, and how we sometimes forget to turn our mics on. How I wish I had one more day to welcome you into my class, and to watch your face light up with understanding, or even cringe with the thought of another stoichiometry or torque problem. I will never take that privilege for granted again. I will always remember the class of 2020, the one with the pandemic, as a class filled with compassion and greatness. Class of 2020, you have shown us that no matter how hard things get, there's always good in the world. I know that during this speech, I'm supposed to give you some great words of wisdom, and I will do my best. But from what I've witnessed, you're ready. You already have what you need to be successful. Your parents, teachers, administrators, counselors, religious leaders, community members, and friends have already given you what you need. You are ready to face the challenges ahead of you. I am confident of that. Of course, that doesn't mean it will be easy. There will be challenges and there will be mistakes. But please remember that a failure is an opportunity to move yourself in a different direction. Listen to your family, listen to your friends, and most importantly, listen to your inner self. Listen to the truth inside of you. Don't be afraid to take risks in order to follow your dreams. Learn from each opportunity that you have, and let no opportunity be too small for your time. And let no opportunity be too big for your possibilities. You've got this. Yes, class of 2020, you are impressive, compassionate, and you are ready. Embrace the unknown and the challenge in front of you. Many of you are about to enter a world where no one is grading you. So stop completing things and start living them. I know we live in uncertain times right now, but you are ready for the challenge. Some of you will be helping us rebuild after this pandemic. Some of you will be creating art that will help inspire us. Some of you will be creating music that will comfort us. Some of you will work in the service industry. Some of you will be educators. Some of you will be our pilots. Some of you will be pursuing a degree in medicine to help take care of us. Some of you will be defending our country. And all of you are and will be essential. Class of 2020, you are compassionate, impressive, essential, and ready. As you leave Two Harbors High School, remember to believe in yourself, reach out to others when you need help, and know that we are always here for you. We are proud of you, and we love you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Growing up, we were often told that 2020 would be our year. This would be the year we had 2020 vision. Unfortunately, the best vision could not have prepared us for how our senior year would end. Unless we would have listened to Canon Alt on March 8th when he deemed the beginning of second semester senior skip semester. Our time at THHS may have been cut short, but that didn't stop us from making some incredible memories along the way.
Despite the unforeseen obstacles that COVID-19 presented us with, we have to acknowledge how we've grown from these experiences and managed to end our senior year with some incredible life lessons. One of the biggest lessons can be summed up in a quote by Charles R. Swindoll, which says, "Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it." Over the past few months, we have truly mourned the loss of those prized senior moments such as concerts, sports seasons, plays, senior trips, prom, and a traditional graduation ceremony. But then we watched as our school, families, and community reacted and rallied behind us to truly celebrate the class of 2020. From yard signs to teacher slideshows and paintings, from bus banners and our names and lights, well, technically on the lights, the incredible time and energy spent putting together an amazing virtual honors night not to mention truly hearing us and giving us the best graduation we could have hoped for under these difficult conditions. Just as you have done since we were small, you've continued to lead by example.
Seniors, this year has certainly been a huge character builder, and as you continue your journey, we ask that if you can be anything, choose to be kind and have a positive attitude. These two qualities are what people will remember most about you. Even if at some point at all you have to give is a smile. That one simple action can mean the world. You are each your own story, and it is up to you to decide how each chapter begins and ends. Will you be a leader, or will you be led? Or most importantly, will you know how to do both? Your story happens when you become comfortable with the uncomfortable. Embrace this feeling, because the uncomfortable moments in life will show you a lot about yourself, even if you may not know it at first. These are the moments we will grow as people. We know all of you can do it because at one time or another, we have seen each and every one of you step out of your comfort zone and trust the process over these last 13 years. You've got this. You always have.
To our classmates, after tonight, we'll go our separate ways, but there are a few things we want you to remember. You're braver than you believe, smarter than you seem, and stronger than you think. Over the last 13 years, we have lost some friends and gained some new ones, but the last 3 months have brought all 82 of us together and have shown how resilient we truly are and that we are all in this together. No matter what you do, never give up. If you have a dream, go for it. The only thing stopping you is yourself. If someone tells you you can't do something, they may just be saying it because they aren't willing to work for it. If you want it, go get it. Don't let judgment come between you and your dreams. We never did when we were little, so why allow it now? When in doubt, think of the superhero you wanted to be when you were 5, because that hero is still inside of you. Don't be afraid to let it show. Each and every one of you is capable of doing incredible things. Use the strength you have gained from this experience and go out and change the world. If you're stuck in life and are dealing with something difficult, don't be afraid to ask your fellow graduates for help. This is an important part of life, and these are important people in your life, even if it may not seem like it now. We have already gone through so many struggles together, whether it was the brutal anthology, the organizers, or the pandemic we recently journeyed through. We know more about each other than many people will ever know. Always encourage others to let what makes them unique shine, because these traits are what make us all special in our own way and are what we love the most about each other. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are what often lead to success. Not all of us have our life planned out, and that is okay. You don't always need a plan. Sometimes you need to stop, take a breath, and trust that everything will be okay. Plans are bound to change as we change as people. The future is bright for each and every one of you, so it's important to never let your spark go out.
To our teachers, we may not have gotten to say goodbye, but in reality, this goodbye was always a see you later. We may have unknowingly left THHS at 3:40 p.m. for the last time on March 17th, but we know our paths will cross at some point, whether it's a week from now or even 10 years from now. We are eternally thankful for all you have done for us over the last 13 years. You have shaped us into the people and students we are today. You have taught us that hard work pays off and respect is earned, not given. You have allowed us to be our crazy selves without judgment. You are hard on us because you saw potential in us far before we ever did. Each and every one of you have been incredible role models, and you are the reason we are here today.
Parents and guardians, thank you. Thank you for supporting and believing in us over the last 18 years. You have been by our side for all the weird phases, such as the duct tape phase, the peace sign phase, the phase where everything was mustache related, the croc phase, and let's not forget our middle school phase, where we look back now and say to ourselves, you let me go to school looking like that? We've gone through a lot, and although we may not say it often, we appreciate you. We know these last 3 months have been hard on you too, and we cannot thank you enough for all of the kind acts you have done for us to make the end of our senior year more enjoyable. Seeing the senior parents come together to make signs for our yards and the signs downtown mean the world to us. You have been the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you. And after all the stories you and our grandparents have told us about how hard it was to make the journey to and from school in all weather conditions, uphill both ways, I think we beat you on this one. At least you had a school to walk to.
Before we end, we'd like to say one last thing to our classmates. Never be discouraged, never look back. When you fall forward. We believe in you, we always have, and we always will. Thank you for all the memories. We will miss you dearly.
Having met all the requirements set forth by the Board of Education of the Lake Superior School District, the state of Minnesota, and the Two Harbors High School faculty recommends the following students for graduation. I want to remind the audience that the path to graduation has not been the same for all students. Students, be proud of your path. At this time, I would like to introduce Miss Christy Wasco, Senior Class Advisor, who will read the names of our graduates.
It is my honor and pleasure to present the Two Harbors High School graduates of 2020. Jacob Van Kekrix. Sydney May Hagen. Dylan Scott Barrick. Charles Ryan Seipke. Brendan Cade Seipke. Mariah Sage Amesbury. Elise Rose Poe Johnson. Laura Beth Erickson. Elsa Eiley Peterson. Sydney Marie Cox. Riley Joe Larson. Jada Lynn Larson. Kate Margaret Thomason. Kaylee Ray Overby. Mary Lois Libby. Carson Kevin Holm. Emily Noelle Carlson. Peyton A. Twining. Trisha Ann Osbakken. Joanna D. Swartwood. Jillian Alyssa Hooper. Mia Sky Harrington. Naomi Kirsten Johnson. Cannon William Alt. Makaya Benvey. Sophia Campos. Audrey Irene Hansen. Jackson Lee Rolls. Jake Nels Bergstead. Carter Hoffman. Garrett Jordahl. Sarah C. Swartout. Corey Ray Sandretsky. Sky M. Ronstead. Logan Endicott. Spencer Edward Dorsey. Haley Christine Larson. Isaiah Cullen Martin. Cameron Michael Mackey. Cole Stephen Comrade. Spencer Lee Jackson. Will Charles Johnson. Max Evan Heckler. Joseph Charles Holman. Ashley Lynn Prestige. Emily Jane Olson. Madison Lee Reinarts. Austin Christopher Jones. Ty Philip Rusted. Oakley Calvin Braden. Ray Ruckelmeyer. Chloe Noel Heidela. Megan Marie Maxey. Eric Dennis Lebanon. Gavin W. Wood. Daniel Joseph Near Pierce. Rio Johnson. Kate Morgan Walsberg. Helena Mojkowski. Ava Lynn Bruckelmeyer. Aaliyah Christine Risenen. Nolan James Sunberg. Matthew Brent Foley. Hunter Earl Timo. Sean William McCarthy. Broden Truckee Bowling. Jade Ravenstorm Waldron. Oriana Ray. Samuel Bradley Johnson. Callie Jane Wright. Mason Thomas Gulseth. Ellen Marie Lerbakken. Lars William Bruckelmeyer. Noah Benjamin Smith. Mason Travis Stolp. Annabelle Bean Whalen. Kristen Ann Simonson. Olivia Heyman. The outstanding seniors for the class of 2020. Senior class officers: Carson Holm, Sam Johnson, Riley Larson, Annabelle Whalen. NHS officers: President Emily Carlson, Vice President Riley Larson, Secretary Jada Larson, Treasurer Sean McCarthy. Student Council officers: President Sam Johnson, Treasurer Emily Carlson. Band officers: President Logan Endicott, Vice President Joseph Charles Holman, Secretary Jillian Hooper. Treasurer, Callie Wright. Choir officers. Co-presidents, Sky Ronstead and Sean McCarthy. Secretary-treasurer, Joanna Swartwood and Emily Carlson. The outstanding senior in math, Carson Holm. Outstanding senior in science, Sean McCarthy. The outstanding seniors in English, Emily Carlson and Mary Libby. The outstanding senior in choir, Sky Ronstead. The John Philip Sousa Award, Joseph Charles Holman. And now for the highest distinction, GPA 3.9 or higher, Emily Noel Carlson. Carson Kevin Holm. Samuel Bradley Johnson. Riley Joe Larson. Mary Lois Libby. Sean William McCarthy. Noah Benjamin Smith. Great distinction, GPA 3.83 to 3.899, Laura Beth Erickson.
Senior class, please rise. In recognition of your commencement, the graduates should now move their tassels from right to left. Friends, family, Superintendent Crandall, Assistant Principal Benson, and school board members, I present the class of 2020.